We're all set. Okay. Welcome to the Jefferson Elementary School Board meeting. We'd like to call this meeting to order, and it is now 7:03. And members present, please.
Shaquille Ali.
Here.
Marie Brizuela.
Here.
Clayton Koo.
Here.
Manufo Leah Inga Anawai.
Here. On our Pledge of Allegiance, we'd like to ask Mr. Valenti if you wouldn't mind leading us this evening.
Stand.
Put your right hand over your heart. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Valenti. And at this time, we will review our board meeting guidelines. And this is when board members review the board meeting guidelines and report how well they adhere to the meeting guidelines at the end of the meeting.
This is the same one every time. Sorry, my binders.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Do we have a motion at this time to approve the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Now we will move forward with general functions. And we are looking at our consent agenda. And do we have a, I'm sorry.
We'll have a roll call on that one. Sorry? We have to have a roll call on that one.
Right, so at this time, do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Mr. Ali.
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela.
Aye.
Mr. Koo.
Aye.
Miss Leah Inga Anawai.
Aye. Thank you, unanimous. We will now move forward with item B, which is the adoption of the 2017-20 Local Control Accountability Plan. Jefferson Elementary School District Administration recommends the governing board approve the LCAP for the 2017 through 2020 school years. The Local Control Accountability Plan is an accountability plan that requires districts to disclose how local control funding formula funds are spent to provide high-quality education programs. The plan activities were developed with broad community input through the 2017-18 year and will be adjusted in subsequent years. So do we have any discussion on this or questions?
I just want to thank Ms. Kulik and everybody else who helped create this LCAP. I know it took a lot of time, energy, and lots of meetings along the way. So I just want to thank everybody for helping to put together what we're deciding tonight.
I like to echo that. She's done a fabulous job. I've been to several of the meetings, and it's informing the parents and getting them involved was absolutely outstanding. So thank you for all the time you did. I know you had lots of input, a lot of help, but you guided everybody. Thank you.
Trustee Ali, do you have any? Thank you. And I share the same sentiments. Thank you very much for providing clarity for everyone that's participated in the process, and especially for our community members. Thank you, Ms. McCulloch, and everyone involved. So at this time, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adopt the 2017-20 Local Control Accountability Plan as presented.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. Thank you. Now we have the adoption of the Local Control Accountability Plan Federal Addendum. The administration recommends approval of the Local Control Accountability Plan Federal Addendum for Jefferson Elementary School District. This addendum is meant to supplement the LCAP to ensure the provisions of the federal Every Student Succeeds Act are met. The LCAP, Consolidated Application, and new federal addendum together now become the Local Education Agency Plan. Do we have a discussion or questions around this? No? Any comments? If not, motion?
I'll make a motion to approve or adopt the Local Control Accountability Plan Federal Addendum.
Second.
Oops.
We have a second from Trustee Ali. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you again. Now we are looking at the adoption of the fiscal year 2018-19 proposed budget for active district funds, and the administration recommends that the Board of Trustees adopt the fiscal year 2018-19 proposed budget for all active district funds. Do we have a discussion or inquiries? No. If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to adopt the fiscal year 2018-19 proposed budget for active district funds as presented.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now we move on to, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand the notes here. Sorry, Superintendent. We have the interview for the protocol and selection of questions for board member candidates. And at this time, we are looking at the Board of Trustees will interview the following candidate who has determined to be eligible, completed an application cover sheet, and has submitted a resume and cover letter. The candidate to be interviewed this evening is Maybelle Magno. And at this time, we'd like to welcome you to join us up here at the dais. If you want to take a seat here, if you're comfortable. And because it was published in our agenda, we did have other candidates, and just for the public's knowledge, at this time, we wanted to convey that unfortunately those candidates did withdraw their application, but we are excited that we have a candidate that decided to stay with us through the process, and we look forward to interviewing you this morning and this evening. It's been a long day, and I did not have coffee before this meeting, very intentionally. I apologize. But we're excited to have you join us this evening. And so at this time,
We have to look at the questions. We have to say which questions we're doing or something?
At
We
this-
just move on.
yeah, so at this time, we will be asking you some questions. But before then, if you wanted to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get right into the questions.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and members of the board. Thank you for your time to interview with you. As a product of public schools and as a parent to an incoming middle schooler in the district, I am wholeheartedly interested in the opportunity to foster an amazing and safe environment for our students. As a resident of Daly City since 2001, my deep commitment to the community is strong. My various experience will prove to be an asset to the board as I come with a holistic approach and well-rounded background to meet any challenges with compassion and efficiency. My experience in education as a classified employee who was regularly leaned on to take over classes in teachers' absences has given me the awareness of how important the relationships are with all school employees to a student's success. While considering a teaching credential, I worked for a private elementary in Berkeley and at an Oakland public school. I also worked for a public school in San Francisco, and this lends me different perspectives and insights with these distinctly structured and funded schools. It truly does take a village, and I understand that our schools are structured like a whole ecosystem where there are many different facets and all are interconnected. I also later decided to get an MSW, social work, from a university in the Philippines and have experience in the social work field as well, especially with working with young female reproductive health and rural people's economic development. After returning to the US, I managed a San Francisco substance abuse nonprofit who served inner city youth ages 12 to 26. Is that my microphone ringing? Sorry. The nonprofit provides wraparound services where I manage the prevention programs and gained experience in development. Oh, thank you. Which included raising funds from the public, writing grants for private corporations, and managing funding from city and other public agencies. After I pursued an MPA in public admin at SF State My more recent background is in public health and health and social services. I love what I do as I help people, especially in crisis situations. So as you can see from all of my experience, I have committed my life to serving the public. And as a member of the board, it's ultimately important to work collaboratively, be open and honest, and keep the district focused on learning and achievement. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve my community and our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. So Trustee Ali, if you don't mind, we will start from your end in sharing some questions that we may have for Ms. Manio.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for being here tonight, and excited to hear more about your experience. My question is, which education, I think all the microphones are doing something
Yeah,
weird.
there's a ringing sound.
Which education-related issues are important to you, and how might you contribute to board direction in these areas to bring these issues to light?
I think one of my key concerns in the education field is raising the achievement of our more disadvantaged and lower performing students. I think that's a big challenge. I'm very interested in food safety for our children as well. I mean, they run the gamut, you know. There's so many different issues that I'm interested in, but those are two big ones I think are important to address.
Thank you.
So we want to take turns with one question each and then go back again, or?
Sure.
Okay. So, we're gonna go around a couple times. Okay, so, I had a couple here that I'll give you something as a perspective
Okay.
ahead of time, because it sounds like you're pretty organized. If you were to look back on your time, if you're appointed, and you're to look back 5 years later, what would you like to see would be your major contributions to the district and the board? I would include one more word, and the children.
Of course. My contribution, I would like to see either making or changing policies that would push forward each student's success, no matter who they are, where they come from, what their background is. And, you know, I'm not only interested in this because I'm a parent of a middle schooler, an incoming middle schooler. I'm interested not only for our current students, but our future students as well. So well beyond my daughter leaving the district to go into high school, I would still be interested in every student's success. So, you know, whether it's a policy about structural facility improvement to enrichment programs, providing some kind of access to that for other students. I'd like to see, you know, more of that for them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again for joining us this evening. My question for you is, how would you respond if a community member called you with a concern or a request at one of our schools or within the district?
Directly to that person,
Yes.
I would respond obviously with respect and dignity, and let them speak their piece to the fullest without interruption from me. And then I would, you know, follow the procedures of bringing it to, you know, possibly the superintendent or whatever the process is. I apologize, I've never been on a school board. But what I do bring to the table is my potential for growth and my other acumen and skills and talents. So I would definitely follow whatever the protocols are if I believe it is to bring it up to the superintendent, maybe to the staff at the school about that. And then if it has to, you know, if I had to advise the parent to, you know, come to one of our meetings and make public comments and let their voice be heard, not just to me, but to the rest of the people that matter are in charge of making important decisions based on their behalf.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for coming tonight. My question is, if you're appointed, what do you bring to the school board that you believe would help us do the important work of representing all different views and perspectives of our community and not just one portion of it?
What do I bring to the board?
What do you think you bring to the board that would help us get a better perspective of all different point of views, rather than just some views that may be louder or more vocal than others?
Okay. Well, I think my desire to make a difference is very strong. By sharing my time and acumen, I represent different groups in the community, and I would like to ensure that others' voices are heard in making educational and administrative decisions that affect them. And I believe that, schools are our kids' second homes. So I have a deep interest in, preserving and improving the quality of our school district. As far as actual skills, I have great negotiation skills. I have other types of connections with other city agencies or other public agencies. I have knowledge of, health and social services from both sides of the table as a recipient and as a public service professional. So I come with the perspective of being in a government agency, and as well as having, a child in school and having that parent perspective as well. I believe I can help build stronger ties between the school and our, greater community at large and other stakeholders. And I'm willing to actually, and look forward to being a conduit for the concerns of and interests of our teachers and our parents. One member can't do the job alone, so I think I would add collaboratively and creatively to this board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Ali?
The trustees oversee a $60 million budget. What experience do you bring to this task?
Like I said, I managed a nonprofit for years. My tenure there, I was actually in charge of several programs, budgets, as well as the entire agency's budget. I was in charge of managing public and private grants. That meant also writing the grants and, attending requests for proposals and constantly on the lookout for looking for public funds and other funds that were available to us that we were eligible for to qualify for. I currently don't work with my agency's budget, but I work with personal household budgets of all of my clientele. So I'm constantly dealing with other people's money, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. So there's that level of trust that people have in me because I see very personal things about them, their tax returns, their bank statements and things like that. So not only do I have that managerial experience with dealing with public funds, but I also have that kind of, I have that perspective where, these are not just funds that just were created out of thin air. These are, our taxpayers' dollars, and I know that we're beholden to them, and would work together with you guys to help manage that budget.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so let's just say you're already here.
Okay.
If you, how would you respond if you're asked at the first meeting you come, or any meeting, that you have to make a decision on a particular issue and you believe you do not have sufficient information that's been provided to you to make that decision? The bug here?
No, it's all right. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
How would I respond to that?
How would you respond in, if you're asked to make a decision, but you feel you, on a particular issue, but you feel you have not received sufficient information to make a good decision? How would you approach that?
Depending on the issue, I may withdraw from voting because I feel like I don't have enough information to make an informed decision, and I don't think that would be fair to whatever the issue is, especially since I'm only one. I would be one of 5, so that would, it could make or break that issue, and I wouldn't want that responsibility to fall on me if I don't feel confident enough in knowing what the issue is.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you could describe your approach to the role of the board member in governance and management of district affairs? So your approach towards the management of the district affairs and at your role as a board member? There's a net.
Well,
That's why I guess there's a bug up here. We're being bugged.
sorry. My approach to managing.
So, describing your approach to the role of the board member in governance
Okay.
and management to school district affairs.
Well, I would always remember why I'm here in the first place, and that is to help the district succeed. So my approach would always be driven by that. When I say I have a holistic approach, it sounds like more of a health concept, but I believe that each member of our community is affected by the decisions that we make at this district, not just teachers, not just parents and students, but the community at large. So I would approach it with the mind frame that, the decisions that we make as far as managing the budget would affect the entire community. Like, for instance, the renovations at Policita and the construction and how that looked for the neighborhood around them and how that affected them and what they thought about that. Like, I would definitely take all of those things into consideration when making my decision and when, helping manage the budget with the board.
Thank you.
So my next question relates to some of the stuff we just actually did earlier. So earlier tonight, we approved the LCAP that kind of lays out our school district and school board priorities and lays out a set of indicators on how to make sure that they actually succeed. My question for you is, what indicators would you use to measure your performance as a school board member, and how would you know if you did a good job or not? Or how would you measure yourself such that you knew that you were at least doing a good job for the school board and for our community?
They say parenting is 50% just showing up. So I would think that, showing up here each time I needed to, meetings, any other special meetings or anything like that, other events outside of this, outside of these chambers, just showing up, that to me is one indicator of success, because when you show up, then you can actually participate and contribute. And I don't necessarily need like a accolade or a medal or anything to feel successful. I think that if I know that I made a difference in a student or a teacher's life somehow by improving or helping them meet a goal, I think that alone is success. But also, making sure we're meeting within our budget guidelines and adhering to protocols and, walking the line, basically. I think that to me is success.
Thank you. So this evening's expectation was for us to ask 2 questions each, but I would like to ask the board if you have a few more questions, if we go one more round. If someone would like to ask another question, otherwise we can,
I don't need to ask any more questions. I have a good idea.
Trustee Brizuela, did you have any other questions?
I thank you for saying that, because sometimes we are rushed to maybe think of another question later. But I just want to say that I was impressed with your application and what you might be able to bring to this board. And I would probably say the same thing about other applications we have, but they're not here. And that shows when you say showing up, you showed up. And that's really good. The only thing I wanted to ask, how would you deal with if there was, let's say, the way it's written here, Bernie gave us these questions, so I'm using some of them. What would be your approach if a board member, wait a minute, that's not the right one, excuse me. Here it is, sorry. I didn't see my X. Imagine that you have a conflict with a fellow board member. How would you handle it?
Conflict is a part of regular life. It's not rare, and I deal with it in stride. I would treat people, no matter what, with respect and dignity. And in my line of work, I work a lot with people who are dealing with crisis situations and have dire needs that need to be met right then and there. So I don't stress out in those types of situations. So I wouldn't elevate. I would try to kind of disengage the conflict and bring it down to a level where we can actually be productive and move forward as a coherent team. Like, my approach wouldn't be, to disrespect anybody or to, if somebody says something rude to me, I'm not automatically rude back or anything. I try to come with the knowledge that maybe the person might be, going through a stressful time, or I don't know what they were doing 5 minutes before this, or, so I try to give people the benefit of the doubt and again, try to keep our goals in line and, keep the board on track for what we're here to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for answering questions. I just had a last question. So, if you were selected to the school board, to our school board, what would you consider to be the top thing you would try to do on the first day that you join our board? I mean, sorry. I guess because you mentioned a variety of topics that you care passionately about. What's one of them that you think you would try to focus your attention on first thing?
Honestly, I would like to see the students more civically engaged. So maybe even, approaching some of the schools and having the students come in and sit in on this and just, get involved and witness it. Who are the change makers? Who are the decision makers here? And how do they affect you directly? Like, I would want to see more students in here to do that. But that wouldn't be my first day. I think I would try to just get acclimated.
Cool, thanks.
That was
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ms. Magno. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate you engaging us with responses that we think that has given us a good foundation to make a decision or continue the conversation. So at this time, we'd like to ask that you rejoin the audience, and we will conduct business and ask that you stay with us.
Absolutely. Thank you all
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
So, do we have any speaker cards this evening, Ms. Coveray? Okay. So we do not have any speaker cards. So we will now look at G, and G is board member, consideration of board member provisional appointment. And so are we we're opening it up for consideration of provisional appointment or any other inquiries or questions around moving forward with a provisional appointment at this time. So the Board of Trustees will appoint a new member to fill the vacancy and/or also have an option not to, and this is the time to open that up for discussion
I'd like to
and/or a
speak on that.
motion.
I'd just like to speak on this. I just want to thank you also for coming. And not only was your resume impressive, your answers also were. And we realize that you still have to do some training, right? Because you don't have all the information. But you answered all your questions in such a way that I feel very confident that you're going to make a real good difference here on the board. And hopefully some of the thoughts that you mentioned or some of the things you would like to see our district do, I think we may find it working, because it's nice to have somebody in that area of your expertise. So, just want to say something.
Do we have any other comments or motion?
I'll make the motion, there's no other comments.
Do you have a comment?
You have a
there?
comment?
Well, thanks once again for stepping up to the plate and coming here tonight, going through the interview. I too will say that I did like the answers that you gave. So far, it seems like you have the right demeanor and the right intent and the right skill set to be an asset to our board. So we'll see how it goes in a few seconds.
Trustee Ali, do you have anything to add? I'm sorry, Trustee Koo? I need coffee, sorry.
We look so much alike. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to say thank you again tonight for coming. I do agree with my fellow colleagues that you answer the questions with, at least with great thought and at least consideration about the topic and the questions. So I want to thank you for that as well.
Yeah, and before we get a motion from the floor, I too would like to say that I was very impressed with your level of confidence, but you still exuded a lot of humility. You came from a great space. You have a lot of great energy. I loved how you were able to speak from your heart and your spirit, and just the intellect that you were able to answer the questions with. I definitely think that that is something that we would definitely benefit from, not just as a board, but as a community. So thank you so much for your commitment and making the time and staying with us through the process. So 50%, like you said, is showing up, and so thank you. So at this time, do we have a motion from
Okay,
The
I'd like
board?
to make a motion. Okay, let me see if I get this pronounced right. Where's the? Bell, right? Yeah. Okay, okay. I'd like to make a motion that we appoint as a provisional board member for our district, May Bell Manalo?
Manuel?
Manyo? Okay,
Manuel.
Manyo. Okay. And that's it, I guess.
We have a second. So we have a motion and we have a second. Do we need roll call for this one? That would be
That would be
nice.
nice.
Can we
Mr.
have roll
Ali,
call?
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela,
Aye.
Mr. Koo,
Aye.
Ms. Leah Inga Anawai.
Aye. So we'd like to invite you up here, but we want to make sure that you get installed first. Our superintendent but I wanted to ask, because we have our mayor with us, I don't know if you wanted her to officiate that with you, being the mayor of our city.
Sounds great.
Yeah, would that be okay with you?
Yes, great.
All right.
How exciting.
So, Bernie?
Yes.
That she's,
Yes,
yeah, she's
Thank
gonna-
you, Superintendent Vidalis.
Ms. Manalo, I have it here. So. You don't have it, you don't have it.
Oh.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, okay.
Just stand right here.
Okay, so please raise your right hand and repeat after
Cheers.
me.
Thank you, Bernie.
I, Mabel Manuel, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Mr. Vidal.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Thank you. Oh, okay, good. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Congratulations, Board Trustee Mano. Please join us.
Yay.
Thank you, Mayor Manalo, for officiating her appointment. Congratulations.
That's, oh, congratulations. I know, there's like bats or something.
It's a great evening.
We definitely have some bugs flying around here.
Yeah, excuse the swatting. There's a gnat that wants to become a friend and find a home here.
Oh, my gosh.
All right.
So, do you think the next month is good, or is it vacation time? We should do it in September. So have a gathering here.
Make the recommendation.
Okay. I know that we installed this evening because we're doing it because you didn't sign anything at the county because it wasn't like you're running for office, so this way it's official. But we would like to do, since we didn't know who was going to be here and who was going to be voted on, we'd like to have a time where you can invite your family and friends and do the ceremony again, so that more people that know you can come, and or other people in the district can come and meet you. But first I was thinking the next meeting, but I wonder if the board feels that we should wait till September when other folks, because everybody's gone. And that, how do you feel about that? It'd just be a ceremonial thing to invite people to come and meet the new board member. Anybody agree with that or no? Or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, Superintendent Vidalis, could you maybe facilitate that, and can we look at scheduling
I
that?
can look at the scheduling. Certainly doesn't matter when we select. I think we'll work with Ms. Manio and her family's schedule first, and then we can select a time when her loved ones could join her and celebrate with her. So, and then we can find a meeting, no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, it's important to have your family celebrate this wonderful celebration. So
Well, one
I'm
of the
sure
reasons I bring it up,
Superintendent.
because remember the last time when we did the same thing, when we appointed you to the board, you had to leave, and she didn't even know the decision till afterwards, you know. So we couldn't like do that installation. But I just thought it would be nice that we, you know,
Yeah.
let everyone have an opportunity to meet you, and you can have family also here.
Yes.
So,
Thank you, Trustee Buscella. That's great. We want to make sure that everyone can be a part of that. All right, so we are now moving on to communications. And we're going to ask our staff to join us back at the table.
yeah, come back, guys. I forgot about that.
So at this time, we will go through board member acknowledgements and commendations, and we'll start with you, Trustee Brusuela.
Oh, you would start with me? No. I didn't bring my calendar to go back and say, but from the last meeting, we've done lots of graduations and lots of things, and it seems like there was end of this year party, and there was a program for this school and that school, and we've been really hopping around, and the fun part is seeing the children succeeding in what they have been participating in. So I can't say exactly everyone that's it, 'cause I left my calendar home, But the one thing let's see, this is acknowledgements. When do we get to make comments? Usually we do that in the beginning, I think it is. Is this a good time to say some of the things I would like to say to look forward? I wanted to make sure that possibly as soon as possible, we put on the agenda our discussion, and we did it, and I can't believe it's already been a year, almost a year, since we first brought up the ethnic studies, and we'd like to have that on the agenda, our next meeting, so we can begin a discussion with it, because before when we brought it up, it wasn't really a discussion item. So I'd like to get that started, because I think we really, a few of us are very adamant about having this. So without any other comments, can we have it on the agenda, just to at least get started? And there was another item I had, what was it? That was the most important one, I think. I'll think about it before. That's it, I guess.
Thank you, Trustee Brusuela. Vice President Koo?
Oh, I want to, I know a lot of us attended some of the graduations over the past couple weeks. I just want to congratulate all the students across our school district, and just want to wish them a happy summer as well, too, and look forward to seeing them in the fall. And then I also want to congratulate Ms. Manio again for joining us on the school board. Look forward to working with you, and feel free to let us know if there's anything we can do to help make your transition even easier.
Trustee Manio.
Hi. I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for the very warm welcome and for including me onto the board. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to work together with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Ali?
Yes, I was not able to attend the graduations for the first time in, 7 years, I believe. So I would like to commend now all of the graduates and the families, and also congratulate once again Ms. Manio. I just want to say that it's refreshing to hear a true public servant and someone who's not here for ulterior motives that I know of, right? But you're here as an educator. I didn't feel any type of politics being played, so I just wanted to acknowledge that and commend you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Congratulations again. We're really excited to have you continue this work with us. You come to the table with a great wealth of experience and wisdom, so we definitely are appreciating all that, and we look forward to what you bring to the table the next few months and hopefully longer than that. I did want to second the comment of ethnic studies that was raised by Trustee Brusuela. That I too have to say that has been something it became an afterthought, and I too would like to continue the conversation and see how we can proceed with that, especially since we've been so successful with the youth cinema project. It's just wonderful to be able to add something else, because I know that we have the bandwidth because we have wonderful administrators and wonderful staff that facilitate all of these great happenings. So I would love to see that happen, and I know I mentioned it before. I know that Longfellow Elementary has which Ms. Dart had shared with us at previous meetings, that they have a Filipino ethnic studies program, and that Visitation Valley Middle School in San Francisco continues to have theirs, which now I understand is officially connected to City College and San Francisco State's ethnic studies program. So they have built that pipeline, and I think it would be wonderful for us to jump in as we did with the Youth Cinema Project and see how we can get involved and bring it here. And I wanted to say congratulations to all of our graduates as well, because I couldn't make it this year due to my work schedule, but I'm glad that we had board trustee members that were able to represent us at those ceremonies. And I'm excited about Big Lift. I've been at a few meetings, and I've just been hearing Big Lift, Inspiring Summers, and to know that we started that off right here in Daly City, and that continues to grow here in our district. I just take great pride in that, and I want to say thank you to our superintendent and to Ms. McCulloch, because I've said it before. I love when people start praising our district and your names come up. And I'm like, yeah, that's our district. You know, last night we had the Commission on Status of Women meeting. You know, we always feel like the stepchild of the county, so we said, bring the meeting to us. And Mayor Manala was there, Ms. Brusuela was there, Mr. Giovanni was there as well, and North County, showed up. But we know that our voices are heard, and it does take a village, as shared tonight. But I just take great pride in this district, and I love that we're able to represent well. So I want to say not just congratulations to our graduates, but to our administrators and our staff, because we are providing oversight, but we appreciate all the work, because you roll your sleeves up and you get your hands dirty and you just delve in. So thank you so much for everything that you do. We appreciate it. Thank you.
And I'm going to say that besides everything that you said, when board members show up, that they appreciate it as well, because they think that we're sitting here at the top and we don't care sometimes, but we do care. And I'm sure that you will be there, and you will be there, and you will be there, I'll be there, and you'll be there. And we understand when you don't make a graduation because of your job, which, being a special ed teacher, your whole heart is there. And I'm saying, wow, you're doing a great job. So we can't always be together on that, but at least if someone goes, it shows the board cares. So I say thanks to everybody. It takes everybody. Not all the teachers aren't here tonight to hear it, but it takes everybody to make this work. So thanks to everything.
Thank you.
And you're a great leader.
Thank you for your generosity.
Okay.
At this time, we will move towards the correspondence and superintendent comments.
Well, as you may have heard, Governor Brown did sign the budget bills today, and even though we approved our budget, we will have to modify it to include the details of the past budget, or what is it called? Past makes it seem like it's past, the approved budget, the adopted budget. So we will make those adjustments. Mr. Kessler can speak about that. I just want to say that, this is really a wonderful way to end the month of June. Sort of a capstone to a wonderful year and lots of achievements, and to have Ms. Manio be able to join us today is just a great way to end. So thank you and congratulations.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm remiss. I want to congratulate you on your daughter's graduation.
Oh, yeah.
From your college, your university, another Stanford alumni in your family. Congratulations, because I know she graduated with honors. Job well done. Job well done. And now we will move on to our administrator comments.
No, I'm very excited to welcome Ms. Manio. I'm so proud of the diversity of our board and what that diversity brings to this district. I think it's really wonderful, and closing the achievement gap and simply raising the achievement. Every kid deserves to get as much as they can. And what I'm not going to even try to say the last name because I don't say it often enough. But what you were saying, Madam President, yes.
Madam President, yes.
I think our summer program is really wonderful because that helps the kids not lose what they have gained, and they actually can get ahead a little bit, apparently. And I think that with the big lift, as well as the older kids, the third through eighth grade, I think it's the scholars. It's wonderful that we have that. It's wonderful that we've got more preschool and we're bringing the kids in early. We're identifying kids. We're helping them. And that's what education needs to be. And I'm hoping it continues to go in that direction. And I'm the head of the business department, so I do all the money stuff. But so I'm not as privy to or knowledgeable about curriculum, but I think that the summer program is absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
So welcome. I oversee the Educational Services Department and the LCAP engagement process. So I want to thank the board for approving the LCAP. We'll be sending that off tomorrow to the county. And as Ms. Kessler said, our summer programming has started. Last week we started Power Scholars at TRP with our 3rd through 8th grade students. It's kind of our pilot program funded through Measure T or I? T, one of the measures, parcel tax. And then this week started our Big Lift Inspiring Summers for our entering kindergartners through entering 2nd grade. So we have the whole span, which is wonderful. And we're, I think, the only district in the Big Lift Collaborative that has the extended 3rd through 8th grade. And so that's pretty remarkable as well. And as Ms. Kessler was saying about the achievement, you know, we've been in the Big Lift. This is our 3rd summer. I believe we're entering our 4th year with the Big Lift. And the Big Lift is a pre-K to 3rd grade initiative. And so we're seeing the students that have been in the Big Lift since pre-K, they're just entering 2nd grade this year. So we're going to start hopefully seeing that the improvement in our older student scores in the next few years. And so I'm hoping that this initiative is going to show fruitful when we start seeing those results. And so really excited about the progress we're making with our students. We also thank you for adopting our new math curriculum in our elementary and then our middle school math and ELA. We did trainings last week, over 100 teachers. We are offering it in multiple times so that everyone's summer schedule, so we'll have everyone trained before school starts, but it was really successful. It was at TR Policita, and people are really excited about the new curriculum, and that will help us with our students' math achievement because it's still stagnant. I'm seeing preliminary scores still stagnant, so it was perfect timing to have new curriculum come in and inject some support for our students. So, and then just happy summer to everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy summer, welcome. Nice to see you again. I'm Brent Valenti, I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. And I just wanted to welcome you. It's a great district, and I hope, your experience here is as good as mine's always been. And to all my partners out there in crime of summer, welcome to everybody. Happy summer. The programs going on, all the collaboration and the flexibility that the people that are working, whether it be Jen LaRock coordinating the different site principals, and then working with the maintenance department and the custodial department to make sure we're able to get in there and get those classrooms ready for the kids in the fall. It's just been a great work together. Lots of moving parts, and I really appreciate everybody helping me out on that.
I just add in one other summer program that's happening is our extended school year for students with IEPs. That's happening at Westlake School. And so we have, I think, over 100 students that are in that program. Hundreds, yeah. So we have lots of summer programming happening right now.
Thank you.
Some good ideas we might come up with.
Thank you all again. So at this time, persons wishing to address the board, this portion of the agenda is available for individuals to comment on or address the board on any issue that is under the board's jurisdiction and not on the agenda. And the maximum time allowed for any speaker is usually 2 minutes. And we do have 2 speaker cards, and at this time, we would like to call our Honorable Mayor Jocelyn Manalo.
Thank you, Madam President, and I just want this opportunity. I don't really get to come too often to your meetings, but I do want to say thank you for all the work that you've done. Trustee Ali, Trustee Brazuela, Madam President, Trustee Clayton Koo, and welcome Trustee Manio. As a product, going to Woodrow Wilson Elementary and also Bessie, not Bessie, but that was before that, to Ben Franklin Falcons when it was green, not burgundy. So that's dating
That's
myself.
Right.
But I had a wonderful experience, and to see the trajectory of where the school district is going, the continual support really around the children, the teachers, and it's huge. And with the City of Daly City, I know that we can partner together to continue to create vibrant community for our young people and our community at large. But I wanted to extend my thank you to each and everyone, to the administrators, and also to the staff, and to everyone that's part of the school district for really caring for our students, because they are the future of our generation. And I just wanted to say thank you. I also was able to come to one of the events, well, several events actually, but one that's really dear to me is seeing the Student of the Years, and seeing from a very young age to the middle schoolers, and just how much and how eloquent and how these young people inspire me when I see them. And then also to see that they've also participated, MP Brown, with the cinema and all of that was like mind-blowing, really. As young people, to see them, open their minds to what possibilities are, to working on teams, which is really what the workplace is nowadays, is huge. So I wanted to extend my gratitude and thank each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We also have Commissioner Pamela DiGiovanni.
Good evening. I'll make it short. President, Vice President, and welcome. I don't know if you know me personally, but I'm Pamela DiGiovanni. I'm also not just the Planning Commission, but I'm proud to say Elementary School District Oversight Committee, Measure T, which is a mouthful, but it gives me my small part as a community member, and just a little thing to say. I like to say the words Jefferson Elementary School District, and I look forward to what you have to offer. It's a great group that you have joined, and we have great things in this district. The administrators, the teachers, like you said, and from being a mother here, they work really hard, and I look forward that we can overcome all these great things and make us even better, and let them know, hey, like the president says, we're North County and we are here and we want more money. And we're going to get it, because the children deserve the opportunities, and you have great elected leaders here that can work together, and if we can all work together to fight for that money and bring it to the public schools, yes, real public schools, like Jefferson Elementary School District, not a pretend public school. So we're going to bring the monies back and flourish and create more programs, and you guys are going to be the great leaders, and it's just going to be number one, and they're just saying, wow, that's Jefferson Elementary School District. Look, they produce mayors, they produce commission status women, they produce Clayton Coos, Shaquille Ali, Maybell. I said, oh my goodness, what else? But thank you very much for all you guys do. Yes, and Big Lift is a special thing. So it's a lot of hard work, but it takes people, like you said, a village, she was saying, to do it. So I'm just a little community member, but we can actually get more community people, to participate as well. So maybe I can help on that end. But thank you for everything. Thanks to our teachers, administrators, and she's lovely. She's always there to help. So it's a team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have no other speaker cards. We have no other comments. And at this time, we can adjourn our meeting.
Wow, earliest we've ever been out.
Wow, what a lot of great happenings in June. 8 o'clock. Thank you.
I know you're right.